Like the goalkeeper, that literally. The worst part of save, guys, when you get this. You're only I can't even get down there, so you can make this. I finally retired. I don't get the point in school. I had to. Well, I actually got soccer. It? Yeah.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to Sweet Johnson Stadium on the campus of North Eugene High School in beautiful Eugene, Oregon. As today we bring you Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball in the postseason. It's the play-in round of the state playoffs as the Doc Stewarts look to win and get their way into the first round of the state tournament coming up tomorrow here in Eugene. They've got to win. It's either win or go home for the Doc Stewarts here today, and we'll find out what the team has in store for us as they take on the Sherwood Lobos out of Area 2, the final team in out of the Area 2 standings into the postseason. Sherwood looking to play their way into the first round coming up tomorrow as well. The Docs and the Lobos met last year in the first round of the state tournament down in Roseburg with the Doc Stewarts winning in that matchup the last time the two teams met 1 year ago. The Doc Stewarts will look to try and have a similar outcome as they take on the Lobos here this afternoon. I'm Joey Kieran. It's great to be with you, everybody. Hey, good afternoon. An early one for us here in Eugene as we welcome you in to the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. The Doc Stewarts looking to build the momentum off of their regular season ending split against the Area 4 league champion Emerald Challengers. The Doc Stewarts winning at home in their final game of the regular season and trying to take that momentum into this postseason to see if this squad can go on a bit of a run. The Doc Stewarts have made it to the final day, the second to last day of the state tournament the last 2 years, but those were both as the host team when the Doc Stewarts didn't have to win their way into the playoffs. This year, a little bit different for the Doc Stewarts, who were last in this situation, looking to win in the play-in round to get into the state tournament back in 2019, although back then it was a best 2 out of 3 series when the Doc Stewarts fell against the Portland Barbers. They'll look to try and get a win today against the Sherwood Lobos and find themselves in the first round against the Mid-Valley Southpaws tomorrow at 1 o'clock. A lot to discuss as we make our way through the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. When we come back, we're going to get a chance to catch up with head coach Eric Savage as we talk about today's matchup and the team's preparedness for the postseason. Before we take our first break, I want to remind everybody today's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. You can search 1490 The Score on YouTube to watch the game of the AAA Oregon American Legion Baseball State Tournament. We'll have it all for you on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet, 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving. Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame shows. The Roseburg Dr. Stewarts get ready for the postseason. Big one on the docket today as the Docs take on the Sherwood Post 56 Lobos in a play-in game to get into the state tournament tomorrow. Joining us here in the pregame is Coach Eric Savage. Coach, congratulations on making it to this point in the season. And, it's this is what you work for. This is what the season's been for, to try and get into the postseason and make a run. How do you feel? First year, and you got the team here. How are you feeling as we get ready for today's action?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. Excited to be here. Excited in postseason play. To be able to be still going is awesome. Still feel like there's a lot left on the table, and just really excited to see what happens today and how it goes forward, and just postseason baseball, man. Can't beat it. So.
You guys have had a couple of days of practice to get ready for this. How has that gone? And when you picked up everybody for today's ball game, what's the sense of the team and how they're feeling going into today's matchup?
Oh man, we've had 3 days off, and we practiced 2 of those days, and our first day was very good, high energy. Yesterday it was kind of like, man, why aren't we playing type of feeling. And then today, and just last night in our conversations, the feeling's really good. People are ready to go. They want to compete, and they want to go out there and show well. And they're excited as I am to be out there. Hopefully more excited than me, and I think we're ready to go.
Usually, high school sports always talk about, how does your conference prepare you for seeing the other teams around the state that you maybe haven't had a chance to see during the regular season. And, this team that you're going to be facing is a Lobos team out of Area 2, and we really didn't see anybody, I don't think, out of Area 2 this year. How do you feel like Area 4 play prepared the Doc Stewarts for postseason play coming up?
Well, Area 4, not just this year, but traditionally is, there's some heavy hitters in that conference, typically have really good arms. Coaching is top notch. And what we saw this year from all the teams is that there's skill there, and there's a lot of fundamental baseball being played. We didn't run into a lot of uber talented clubs, but team-oriented clubs that you couldn't sit back on. You had to come ready to compete every single day, and you couldn't take a day off. If you took a day off, they'd sneak a win by you. And so it was pretty level talent-wise talented across the board in our league, and it was very competitive. We played in a lot of close ball games, some not so close, but a lot of close ball games more so than the other. And I think it's prepared us for tournament play. And when it comes to tournament play, we're all 0-0, 0-0 record, And so hopefully it goes the way I'm anticipating, and we're playing tomorrow, and anything can happen from there. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, we are definitely looking forward to it. Know the pressure's on here today to get you into tomorrow, where maybe things ease up a little bit with double elimination, but you guys got to get through here today first. Yeah. Coach, best of luck to you. Thanks so much for a great season.
Thank you, Joe.
That was Coach Eric Savage joining us here in the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We'll go ahead and take our final 2-minute break of the pregame show. We'll come back with a look at your Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups as we get ready for first pitch in the play-in round. Doc Stewart's taking on the Sherwood Lobos. Winner moves on. The loser's done for the season. We'll have it for you when we come back on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Code of sportsmanship. I will keep the rules. I will keep faith with my teammates. I will keep my temper. I will keep myself fit. I will keep
Just about to get things underway in today's play-in game. Already one play-in game in the books. That is the Klamath Falls Falcons out of Area 4 and the Salem Whitnell Dodgers out of Area 3. It was Salem winning in that matchup 9-0 to knock Klamath Falls out of the postseason. And for the Whitnell Dodgers, they will move on to face the Portland Barbers in the first round of the state playoffs coming up starting tomorrow. All right, it is time now to take a look at our Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups. Cooper's Pest Control, when you're looking to build the best defense for your house this summer, you give Cooper's Pest Control a call. They'll get you the best lineup for the protection you need. That's Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins. Call them at 673-0363. The Sherwood Lobos are the designated visiting team in the matchup. They will lead things off with Parker. Let me double-check it right here in front of me. Parker Fabrisky is the leadoff man that will start at shortstop for the Lobos. Liam Cleaver is the catcher. He will bat second, followed by third baseman Connor Perry. At first base, Wyatt Buer will bat cleanup, followed by second baseman Kyle Scheller. Batting in the sixth position is the DH, Logan Bambush, who will bat for starting pitcher Alexander Lopez. The right fielder, Carson Miller, bats seventh, followed by Elm Young, the left fielder, and Jordan Buck in center field to round out the starting nine for the Lobos. For the Doc Stewarts defensively in today's matchup, on the mound is Evan Corbin, the graduated senior from Roseburg High School, heading to Umpqua Community College for his first year post-high school. Evan Corbin, 5-0 on the season, a 43 innings worked. 6 games started. He's got a 2.51 ERA and 29 strikeouts and 9 walks in his 43 innings of work. Last outing for Evan Corbin was a win here on this field in Eugene. Evan Corbin pitched a complete game, 2-1 victory over Carter Green and the Emerald Challengers back on July 16th. Game 1 of that 4-game series for the Doc Stewarts against the Emerald Challengers to finish out the regular season. So Corbin coming off of a win here on this exact field the last time he was in action. Must-win ball game. We'll see how things go today for the Doc Stewarts. Evan Corbin will throw into Knox Hubbard back behind the plate, and we'll have a look at the rest of the defense for you here in the first inning, as we are just about to get this one underway on time. First pitch of the ball game, in for a strike, and we have started today's play-in ball game. Parker Fabrisky out of Sherwood High School, as most of this team is. Take a pitch low and outside for a 1-1 count. A lot of these guys out of Sherwood High School continuing to play together as a Legion team. Swing and a miss out of Fabrisky for a 1-2 count. Do have a couple of guys, at least on the roster, that we were given, Canby and Mountainside, other teams represented on this team. Sherwood had a great high school baseball season as a pitch fouled away by Fabrisky, stays alive with the 1-2 count. Sherwood finished first in the Pacific Conference, went undefeated in league play at the 6A level, but then ended up losing in the second round on the road against Sprague. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, picked up by Knox Hubbard. He'll fire down to Daniel Withers at first. One away on the Mountain Mike's Pizza strikeout for Evan Corbin. Fabrisky strikes out, swinging, one down. Liam Cleaver will bat. That is a Mountain Mike's Pizza strikeout. Don't swing and miss when it comes to dinner tonight. I know it's a little early, but if you start making your plans, you'll make sure that it's a good dinner tonight. That's Mountain Mike's at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg. Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. Cleaver taking low for ball one to start off his at-bat. Around the diamond defensively for the Doc Stewarts here in the first inning of this elimination game. At first base, Daniel Withers. At second base, Logan Anderson. On the left side of the diamond, Cade Johnson at third and Brooks Avery at short. As the 2-0 pitch fouled off. In the outfield from left to right, Sebastian Watson, Carson Dunn, and Cole Collins for the Doc Stewarts. Here on a beautiful sunny day in the Willamette Valley. The 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Liam Cleaver at the plate. Earned All-State honors this year at the catcher position for the Lobos during the spring season. Takes high and inside. Honorable mention All-State catcher as well as a first-team All-League catcher for the Lobos. He's got a 3-2 pitch. Strike three called. He watches the breaking ball hit the outside corner of the strike zone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Corbin to start off the ball game. And he will face now the three-hitter in the lineup, Connor Perry. 2 down, nobody on base. Corbin, an extremely fast worker. And I was talking about that with Coach Zach Watkins, or excuse me, Cody. It was Cody, I think. I'm trying to remember which one of the Watkins brothers I was talking to yesterday about that. And it's just, it keeps the defense on your toes when you're working quick like that. Keeps guys invested as a ball popped up foul in front of the Doc's dugout. And the catch is made by Daniel Withers right up against the railing with all of his teammates right there in front of him. And able to make the play, Daniel Withers will retire Connor Perry for the final out here in the first inning. A 1-2-3 first inning for Evan Corbin. We go to the bottom of the first. We'll take a look at the Doc Stewarts lineup when we return on 541radio.com and on the score at 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Snowballed into the next time we win 2 days later or a day later.
How did I miss all 3 of the outs? It took so long.
Back for the bottom of the first inning, Doc Stewarts coming up to bat in a scoreless ball game. Taking a look at your starting lineup for your Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. For the Doc Stewarts, leading things off is going to be Brooks Avery, the shortstop, followed by center fielder Carson Dunn. At third base is Cade Johnson batting third. The first baseman, Daniel Withers, will bat cleanup, followed by Evan Martin, the DH, hitting fifth for starting pitcher Evan Corbin. At second base, Logan Anderson will bat sixth. In left field, Sebastian Watson batting seventh, hitting eighth, and starting at catcher is Knox Hubbard. And in right field is Cole Collins. Your starting lineup there for the Doc Stewarts, led by head coach Eric Savage in his first year with the program. He'll try to get the Doc Stewarts into the state tournament in his first year. They will face off against Alexander Lopez. Lopez, a freshman from Sherwood High School this year, class of 2026. Ended up earning second-team All-League pitcher honors as a freshman for the Lobos. He's a lefty. First pitch swinging, and Avery will launch it out to center field where Jordan Buck is playing for the first out in the bottom of the first. We are underway in this one. That was your Doc Stewart's starting lineup, brought to you by Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins. Give them a call at 673-0363. One out, Carson Dunn will bat. Low and inside for ball one for Carson Dunn. So Lopez on the mound, a lefty. Youngster, though, out there. He'll wind and fire. His breaking ball fouled third base side. A 1-1 count for Carson Dunn, with one away here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless ball game. Look around the diamond for the Lobos in a moment. 1-1 pitch. Dunn fouls off another one. Behind the plate catching, Liam Cleaver for the Lobos. Out at first base, Wyatt Buer. Second base, Kyle Scheller. On the left side of the diamond, Connor Perry at third and Parker Fabrisky at short. Get to the outfield in a moment. The 1-2 pitch to Dunn. Grounds one towards second base. Scooped up by Scheller. We'll get the throw to first in time to get done. So two down. And up to bat will be Cade Johnson. In the outfield from left to right, Elm Young, Jordan Buck, and Carson Miller starting defensive alignment for the Lobos. Don't forget, today's game is streaming with video online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score. It's presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. Two outs. Johnson's going to line one to left field, and there's your first hit of the ballgame for the Doc Stewarts. Cade Johnson pulls one out in front of Elm Young to left field. A two-out single for the Doc Stewarts. Every first hit of the ballgame for the Doc Stewarts is brought to you by MSK True Value and Building Supply in Myrtle Creek and Tri-City. Make your summer projects a hit. That's MSK True Value and Building Supply. One on, two away. Daniel Withers will bat. Fouls off the first pitch from Lopez as the smell of sunscreen wafts into the booth. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Willamette, in the Willamette Valley in Eugene. Swing and a miss out of Withers on a breaking ball low for strike two. Game one probably was like perfect. Nice cool weather, a little bit of a breeze going on. It's warming up, going to be in the upper 80s later today. 78 right now here in Eugene. 0-2 pitch to Withers. He'll take in the dirt. Running for second base goes Johnson. He's in safely. Head first dive, and Johnson a little slow, it looks like, to get up out there. He went diving in and kind of fishtailed it on himself there. Back legs coming back up over as he got stuck in the dirt. The natural surface here, actual dirt on the infield, might not give as much as the artificial turf back at home at Champion Car Wash Field. 1-2 count at the plate for Daniel Withers as Cade Johnson is at second base on the pitch that was in the dirt. Withers gets hit on the inside pitch from Lopez. Doc Stewarts will have a couple of runners on with two away, and right now a base hit could possibly put the Doc Stewarts in front as they try to grab the early lead against the Lobos. Evan Martin out of Douglas High School will step in, the DH. An opportunity to show why they've got him in there for his bat. Martin on the season, 18 RBI for him, second most on the team. And they've got him in the cleanup spot. He'll take the first pitch for strike one. Cade Johnson out at second base. Decent wheels. Definitely could bring the possibility of a run home on a hit. There's a base hit down the right field side for Evan Martin. He snuck it in just inside. He tumbles going to first. He'll get back to the bag safely as in to score comes Cade Johnson. Up to third goes Daniel Withers. Docs will take a 1-0 lead on the RBI single by Evan Martin, and he went down hard at first base. Footing just came out from underneath him, and he tumbled into the first base bag. Was able to stretch his way back to the bag to stay on. That ball down the line to Carson Miller in right field. Got that ball back in quickly. Don't know if Martin would have really had a chance to go to second or not, but his base hit, more importantly, brings home Cade Johnson to give the Doc Stewarts a 1-0 lead. Still 2 outs and Logan Anderson at the plate. He'll take high for ball one. That RBI is brought to you by BTB Moving, providing labor services for your moving needs. Veteran-owned, affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. They've got senior and veteran discounts available, so book now at 541-315-0122 or find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. 1-1 count for Anderson. At third base, Daniel Withers. Evan Martin at first. Logan Anderson out of Umpqua Valley Christian at the plate. Anderson has been a great hitter, 343 on the season. Takes low and inside for a 2-1 count. Anderson has worked his way into a regular starting job this summer despite being just 15 years old. Thought it would be a developmental year for him. Great article written by sports reporter Donovan Brink in yesterday's News Review about Logan Anderson and Brooks Avery, a couple of guys that have grown up playing ball together. They're both at different schools now. As a strike in, up to second base is going to go Martin. Strike on the inside corner, popped off the glove for Liam Cleaver. Pass ball puts Martin in scoring position. At third base, Daniel Withers. 2-2 count here for Anderson, trying to drive in 1 or 2 possibly with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. He'll take outside, full count. But a great article, Donovan Brink talking with both Logan and Brooks and Coach Savage. And I've been really impressed with Logan Anderson, and I've really enjoyed watching the kid play baseball this summer. He just gives me a real interesting vibe about the game as he will chop at a 3-2 pitch, fouls it off. Stayed alive, that ball hitting off the plate. Fouled off by Anderson. The youngster almost feels as if he just doesn't quite realize how successful this summer's been for him. Just goes out there and works hard. But he's got this old school mentality to him that I just have found very enjoyable to watch. A 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with the off-speed pitch. He'll go down to finish things here in the bottom of the first. But it's a 1-0 lead for the Roseburg Doc Stewarts on the RBI single by Evan Martin. Doc Stewarts lead at 1-0 on 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. We'll come back with the top of the second on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Doc Stewart's baseball in the postseason. Today's game brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Wyatt Buer, the cleanup hitter, will lead things off for the Lobos. And a 1-0 lead for the Doc Stewarts after 1 inning of play. Strike one on the first pitch to Buer from Evan Corbin on the mound. Swing and a miss for strike two. Corbin, a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. Takes him to 31 on the season in his 43, and make that 44 innings of work. Foul ball back on the 0-2 count. Kind of brought it up and didn't get a chance to elaborate more just about the mentality of Evan Corbin on the mound and the way he likes to work as he gets ready for his 0-2 pitch. Winds and fires. Gets him to swing and miss. That ball pops out of the glove. Hubbard will fire down to Withers for the out. There's 3 strikeouts now in the game for Evan Corbin as he retires Buer to start things off here in the second. It'll bring up Kyle Scheller. Corbin on the mound in between innings. It's always a question whether or not I'll actually sneak in all 60 seconds of our commercial break before he's ready to fire in his first pitch of the inning as a ball fouled away by Scheller. But as soon as he gets the ball, usually in most cases, he's ready to get into his windup and keep going. Forces the hitters to get back into the box quickly. Doesn't let them a lot of time to sit in the box as a ground ball to short. Picked up by Brooks Avery, who will fire across the first. A lob over there, almost a little too high. But Withers, he's got long arms. He pulls that ball in for the second out. 2 down, and Logan Bambush will try to step in and do something for the Lobos here. But it's talking just about, not only what does it do for Corbin and the hitters with the way he likes to work quick, what's it do for the guys behind him playing defense as the pitch is outside, a 1-0 count. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you engaged. You can't really let your mind wander because the next pitch is coming as Corbin continues to deal. A pitch high in the air, calling for it. Third baseman Cade Johnson will make the catch just on the other side of the chalk line here down the third base side at Sweet Johnson Stadium. Doc Stewarts will get another 1-2-3 inning out of Evan Corbin and the defense. And they are working quickly just the way Corbin likes it here through 2 innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Doc Stewart's leading 1-0 on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet, 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Roseburg Doc Stewarts, number 2, left fielder.
Doc's leading 1-0 as we start the bottom half of the second inning. Docs are the designated home team in this matchup. First pitch, strike one to Sebastian Watson, who will stand in. 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up for the Stewies here in the second. The 0-1 pitch from Alexander Lopez hits the inside corner for a strike. Doc Stewart's baseball on the score brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. 0-2. Watson will take low and outside. Lopez, the lefty on the mound, winds looking for the first out. That ball hit right side, will carry long enough out to Carson Miller out there. Fighting the ball off, Watson makes good contact, but just sends a low fly ball out to right field for the first out. One away.
Number 4, the catcher, Knox Hubbard.
Doc Stewart's taking the lead in the first inning on an RBI single by Evan Martin with a pair of outs. In fact, Alexander Lopez had cruised through the first 2 outs in the first inning, but then a single, hit batter, single, and the Doc Stewarts were able to take the lead. A first pitch strike to Knox Hubbard. Knox Hubbard had a home run in a critical 2-1 win over the Challengers here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. Take outside, a 1-1 count. That gave the Docs a 1-0 lead in that matchup. Hit it over the right field fence, which is listed at 330 feet right down the line. 320 down the left field line, 390 to center. It's a breaking ball. Misses inside. The catcher behind the plate, Cleaver, doing a nice job of trying to frame that ball on the inside corner. Might have convinced me. Two-one pitch outside, and Hubbard, who leads the team in walks with 20 walks on the year, is one pitch away from trying to get on base here in the second. Cleaver's 3-1 to the lefty, fouled away. Lefty versus lefty matchup here for the Doc Stewarts. Knox Hubbard's the only lefty in the lineup today. Team is dealing with a little bit of injury issues. Drew Camp and Chase Johnson both unavailable from what I've been told. 3-2 pitch. Check swing. It dribbles towards the second baseman. Bare hand. No play to be made. And Knox Hubbard will have an infield single on a check swing. It was do or die for second baseman Kyle Scheller. Scheller had to try and barehand that one and make a throw to first all in one motion, but he couldn't get it in the palm of his hand as he came charging in. It's the actual grass surface here. That ball slowed down a bit as it rolled through the right side of the infield, and Knox Hubbard able to get on with 1 out on a base hit. Third hit of the ball game for the Doc Stewarts. Up to bat, the 9-hitter Cole Collins, who has done well with the stick in his hand. He squares to bunt. He'll put it down, third base side. That ball dies. Tough play, and Sherwood won't make it. There's nobody covering third, but the second baseman will race over to make sure that Knox Hubbard doesn't try and get an extra 90 feet on the sacrifice bunt attempt that results in a base hit for Cole Collins. A couple of balls that don't leave the infield grass, and the Doc Stewarts with 1 out will have runners at first and second. Top of the order, back up. Stewie's trying to add to it here and see if they can start to pull away, leading 1-0. Game 1 of today's playing round finished a 9-0 victory for the Salem Whitnell Dodgers. Docs would like to see a similar result. Squaring to bunt, another one. That goes back towards the mound, fielded, and the throw to first not in time. Brooks Avery will get on with a bunt single. Little bit of small ball working for the Doc Stewarts here in the bottom of the second. That bunt went right back to the mound. If this was back at Legion or at Champion Car Wash Field, that bunt by Brooks Avery on the artificial turf probably rolls easily to the mound, and a lot more routine of a play for Alexander Lopez. But Lopez here on the grass really had to charge to get to that ball and couldn't make the play in time. First pitch swinging out towards center field for Carson Dunn. It is caught by Jordan Buck. He'll throw to the plate. The throw will not be in time. And coming in to score on a sac fly, Knox Hubbard makes it a 2-0 lead for the Doc Stewarts. Carson Dunn will pick up the RBI. Hubbard, the only runner to advance 90 feet. There's 2 down. Carson Dunn with his first RBI of the game. RBIs always brought to you by BTB Moving. If you need some help, a little extra muscle with your next move, they've got the guys to do it. Get in touch with them on Facebook. Search BTB Moving. Up to bat will be Cade Johnson. Had the first hit of the ballgame for the Docs. He takes a strike on the first pitch from Alexander Lopez. The Sherwood team kind of feels like a somewhat of a disjointed season from what I had gathered in my information gathering. So ball hit to left field with 2 outs. That's going to carry to Elm Young for the final out. So the Doc Stewarts send 6 hitters to the plate and will score a run. Would have liked to get a little bit more, but they'll get 1 out of it on a sac fly by Carson Dunn. For the Doc Stewarts, 1 run on 3 hits. None of them leave the infield. There were no errors, and you had 2 men left on base. Go to the top of the third. Docs leading 2-0 on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
First pitch misses low for Evan Corbin as we start the top of the third inning. A 2-0 lead for your Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. Carson Miller, the right fielder, will lead things off. He'll take low and inside again as he jumps ahead 2-0 against Evan Corbin. Today's game brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg. Pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi today. 2-0 pitch, high and away. Corbin missing. Corbin telling me yesterday for my preview story about just how important it is to throw strikes, and he's usually a guy that does it, but falls behind 3-0 here to leadoff man in the third. He will issue a leadoff walk to start the third inning. First man on base for the Lobos in this ball game. They trail 2-0, but it's not a huge lead to overcome, especially here in the early going of this must-win matchup. 1 on, nobody out. Up to bat will be Elm Young, a left-handed hitting left fielder. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Doc Stewarts beat the Sherwood Lobos 4-2 in this first round of the state playoffs last year down in Roseburg at Champion Car Wash Field. Both teams ended up making it to day 4 of the tournament. The ball fouled off. Strike 2 for Young. They do have a couple of players that are in the lineup today that played in that game. Wyatt Buer, Kyle Scheller, and Liam Cleaver. The 3 guys that all played in that game last year against Roseburg in Roseburg. 0-2 pitch here for Evan Corbin. Just a bit high for a 1-2 count. Doc Stewarts have Sebastian Watson, Cade Johnson, Knox Hubbard, and Carson Dunn, all guys that are in the lineup today. Young at the plate. He goes down looking. 4th strikeout in the game for Evan Corbin. And it'll bring up Jordan Buck, the center fielder, with 1 out and 1 on. Avery and Anderson up the middle looking for something they can turn 2 with. There's a ball high for the first pitch to Jordan Buck. Neither pitcher pitched in that game last year as a swing and a miss. 1-1 count. Last year was Ever Lamb, former Doc Stewart, that got the win for the Docs, pitching 6 innings. The 1-1 pitch is fouled away for strike 2. I was talking about how this Sherwood team feels like a somewhat of a disjoint. I was told they only played league games this year, which they went 2-8 in league. And that the team would kind of go off and play tournaments during the rest of the season when they weren't playing league games. There's another 1-2 pitch In for a strike. Swing and miss this time. Back-to-back strikeouts for Evan Corbin. And there's 2 down, top of the order coming up. Parker Fabrisky will bat with Carson Miller at first after drawing the leadoff walk. Foul ball on the first pitch to Fabrisky, who struck out swinging in the first. Kind of feel like that leadoff walk to Carson Miller put Evan Corbin in a mood. So the 0-1 pitch is high. Throw down to first base, not in time. Makes me think of that Michael Jordan meme from The Last Dance where he says, and I took that personally. Well, he gave up a leadoff walk, and apparently he took it personally. He struck out the last 2 guys and goes back to the top of the order, looking to make it 3 straight. 1-1 pitch from Corbin. That ball laced left side, and it is foul for strike 2. Out in front of it, Fabrisky pulling that one down the left field side, bouncing off the hedges here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. 1-2 count. Evan Corbin has gotten to the 1-2 count after the leadoff walk on the last 2 hitters. The runner at first going, swing and a miss, and he will strike out the side. I guess he did take it a little personally there. 6 strikeouts in the ballgame for Evan Corbin. He has faced 1 over the minimum through 3, and he has kept the Lobos off the board. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We are through 2.5. Doc Stewart's coming up to bat in the bottom of the 3rd, leading 2-0 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Runs through next Wednesday, right here at Sweet Johnson Stadium at Gary Selby Field.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, Docs leading at 2-0. They've scored in each of the first 2 innings. Today's game brought to you by Flyway Travel. You can book your travel plans with their travel experts located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue in Roseburg, or give them a call at 672-5701.
They defeated the Clement Falls Falcons by a score of 9-0.
Still Alex Lopez on the mound for the Lobos as we start the bottom of the 3rd. He will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Docs with 5 hits so far in this one. Daniel Withers hit by a pitch his last time up. First delivery is a strike on the outside half of the plate. Withers hit by a pitch. Got on to first, was left at third base in the first inning. Gets around on an inside pitch, pulls it foul third base side. Daniel Withers this season came in hitting .315 to the postseason. He'd been hit by a pitch 4 times previously. He's got an 0-2 count against Lopez, the lefty. Winds and fires, will deliver a breaking ball just outside that pops out of the glove for Liam Cleaver. If you'd like to check out the stats for the Roseburg Doc Stewarts from the season, we've got the end of the season stats posted at 541radio.com on Doc Central, presented by Champion Car Wash and Jiffy Lube. The 1-2 pitch Ball hit hard up the middle, will get scooped up at short by Fabrisky, who will fire over to Wyatt Buer for the out. Leadoff batter does not get on for the Doc Stewarts. They have not gotten the leadoff runner on in any inning so far, so they've managed to score with at least one out against them in the first and the second. Evan Martin will bat. He had the RBI single in the first inning to give the Doc Stewarts a 1-0 lead. Take low and outside. Now that's shortstop Parker Fabrisky sliding to his left up the middle to get to that ball. Came up firing, threw a little low to Buer at first, but he was able to scoop that ball out as a pitch in for a strike. Mentioned that Sherwood, a good team during the regular season at the high school level. They ended up finishing first in the Pacific Conference with an undefeated record. Pitch outside, 2-1 count. But they ended up having to go on the road in the second round of the state playoffs. Lost at Sprague 6-5 in the second round. Saw their season come to an end at the high school ranks in the 6A state playoffs. 2-1 pitch outside. Martin lays off. Got the hands going there. Was thinking about chasing that pitch. Was able to pull things back. 3-1 delivery. In for a strike. Mountainside. Elm Young, the left fielder, he went to Mountainside High School. They finished third in the Metro League this year. They lost in the quarterfinal round of the state playoffs, 6A. 3-2 loss on the road against Lake Oswego. 3-2 pitch, low and inside. A check swing by Martin, and he will have no worries about tripping going into first base there as he gets the walk down to first. They did check to make sure he didn't go around on his check swing, and the call at first base is safe. A walk issued. That's the first walk issued in the game by Lopez. Both pitchers have only given up the one walk so far. Logan Anderson struck out swinging in the first inning. He'll pop one right side. Should be playable out there from Miller. Reaches up for the out. 2 down. So quickly 2 away with a walk in between there for Alex Lopez.
Left fielder,
brings up Sebastian Watson. Watson flew out to right field on a low fly ball out there to Miller his last time up. Second at bat. Doc Stewart's baseball today. Sponsored by Abby's Legendary Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. 0-1 for Watson, swung on and missed again. Sebastian Watson finishing the regular season, batting .262 for the Doc Stewarts. The 0-2 pitch to him. Lopez delivers as the runner goes. The pitch misses on the 0-2, and into second base will go Evan Martin. Watson lets a pitch go by. That one felt a little close for comfort, but he does get the call. A 1-2 pitch now, and there's an inside pitch that twists him up for strike 3. So the Doc Stewarts held off the board for the first time in today's ball game. They still lead 2-0 as Alexander Lopez gets his second strikeout of the ball game. Doc's no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on. So we are through 3 innings of play. It's 2-0. Doc's in front of the Lobos as we go to the top of the 4th on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Can I throw this in there?
Going to the top of the fourth inning, Doc Stewart's right now, leading it 2-0. Evan Corbin on the mound has been dealing for the Docs. Gets a first pitch swing and a miss out of Liam Cleaver. Corbin trying to protect that 2-0 lead. The 0-1 pitch to Cleaver, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking. Hits one up the middle, and there is the first base hit of the ballgame for the Lobos. So Corbin gets 3 innings of no-hit baseball under his belt. Gives up a single to start things here in the fourth inning. Liam Cleaver out of Sherwood High School, be a senior next year. He was a honorable mention All-State selection, and he comes through with a base knock to start things off for the Lobos as they try to work their way back into this one, trying to get some momentum. Second time through the lineup for Sherwood. First pitch fouled back by Connor Perry. Perry out of Sherwood. He'll be a junior next year for the Lobos. He had a good sophomore season. Honorable mention All-State at first base. Also was a second-team All-League pitcher. He is apparently the number 6th ranked player in the class of 2025 here in the state of Oregon. So up-and-comer for the Sherwood Lobos. He bats with one on and nobody out. Takes a pitch high for a 1-1 count. Docs Baseball brought to you by Dr. Erlandson Randall Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or give him a call at 541-378-6694. 2-0 pitch, or excuse me, 2-1 pitch coming up as Corbin misses outside. Not a big lead. In fact, a tiny lead at first base by Cleaver, who takes a big secondary. Foul ball off the front foot for Connor Perry. Crumples at home. It'll take a moment as he fouls that off his ankle, off his foot. Going to need just a moment there, it looks like. And that would be a big loss to lose their 3-hitter in the lineup if Perry comes out of this game. I can't imagine. I would think he's just going to take a moment here, but sometimes those foul balls off the foot can definitely be brutal for a hitter. Mentioned that Perry was honorable mention All-State at first base, All-League first baseman, but he's playing at third base today for the Lobos as he gets up to try and walk this one off. He'll be back at the plate with a 2-2 count as he takes a trip down third base. Winner of this game moves on to face the Mid-Valley Southpaws out of the Albany area. That'll be a 1 o'clock start time tomorrow here at Swede Johnson Stadium. Whichever team makes it through this one, guaranteed to at least play through the weekend, as once you get into the state tournament tomorrow, it turns into a double elimination. Today is the single elimination round, the play-in. You've got 8 teams playing today, and the 4 winners fill in the final 4 spots in the 8-team state tournament bracket. So 12 teams make the postseason. 8 teams get into the state tournament, where it's a double elimination format. 2-2 pitch for Corbin. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Throw down to first base, not going to be in time by Knox Hubbard. That's the 7th strikeout in the game for Evan Corbin. 1 away. Wyatt Buer will dig in. Out at first base, Liam Cleaver takes a terribly small lead, but then as Corbin gets set, he really extends things out there, and he was way off the bag on that strikeout pitch to Perry. Takes a couple extra steps as Corbin delivers in with his off speed on the inside corner. Gets a swing and a miss out of Buer. Buer swung and missed on the strike 3 pitch in the second inning. And he gets hit by a pitch and is headed down to first. Corbin missing inside on the 0-1 delivery.
Now batting number 27, second baseman Kyle Scheller.
So here in the 4th inning, the Lobos will get a couple of runners on with 1 out. They trail only by 2. So a big inning could easily get them back into this one. Corbin trying to make that not happen. He'll face Kyle Scheller here, the second baseman. First pitch, ground ball up the middle, gets into center field. Carson Dunn misplays it in center, and a run will come in. 2-1, the Lobos on the board. Kyle Scheller will get a base hit. We put an error on that one in center field? I wasn't thinking so either. So Buer goes to second. Scoring from second base is Cleaver. The ball mishandled a bit in center, but I don't know if it would have affected the result of the play as it was, with Cleaver trying to score from second base. So no error assigned on the play. 0-1 count to Logan Bambush. The lefty will take low and inside. 1-1. So the Lobos back into this ball game. Docs were cruising early, scoring a run in each of the first 2 innings, but a deficit cut in half. Corbin 1-1 pitch, gets a swing and a miss on the outside corner to the lefty. Evan working out of the stretch. 1 away, a 1-2 pitch. Gets him to pop up. That ball not leaving the infield in foul territory. Cade Johnson secures it on the infield fly rule. And Logan Bambush has now flown out to the third baseman twice in his 2 at-bats.
Now batting for the Lobos, number 5, right fielder.
Big second out there for the Doc Stewarts with runners at first and second. Carson Miller will bat. He walked in the 3rd inning. This is by far the longest frame of the game for Evan Corbin. He's given up 2 hits, a hit batter, and 1 run. Runners are going. Throw down to third. In time. That should do it. There it is. Wyatt Buer caught stealing at third, and Buer can't believe it. That throw beat him there by a wide margin, it felt like, as a strike by Knox Hubbard after a strike on the pitch to Carson Miller. Hubbard will get it to Johnson in time for the final out at third base. So Carson Miller will lead things off in the 5th inning as he was left at the plate. 1 run comes across for the Lobos on 2 hits. There were no Doc Stewart errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Doc's looking to try and get that run back on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Roseburg Doc Stewarts, number 4, the catcher.
Headed to the bottom of the 4th with the Doc Stewarts in front 2-1 against the Sherwood Lobos. Winner moves on, loser done for the year in American Legion Baseball. Knox Hubbard will lead things off. He'll take the first pitch low and outside from the lefty Alexander Lopez. Lefty versus lefty matchup here. Coming up next will be the Corvallis Girding Builders Marketmen against the Hillsboro Baseballism Wet Sox, a team that has one of the more interesting names this year in Legion Baseball. 1-1 count for Hubbard taking the strike. Lopez delivers outside again to the lefty. Hubbard had a infield single in the 2nd inning and came around to score. Docs in the 2nd didn't have a hit leave the infield, but had 3 hits in that frame. The 2-1, low and outside again. It's a 3-1 count. Hubbard, a swinging ground ball towards the second baseman, but it was just a dribbler, and he was able to get on. Then behind him, Cole Collins and Brooks Avery both laying down bunt singles. 3-1 pitch to Hubbard. He'll take ball 4. Leadoff walk, and for the first time in the ballgame, Doc Stewarts get the leadoff man on base.
Now batting number 9, right fielder.
They scored a run with 2 outs in the first inning, scored a run with 1 out in the second. And now here in the 4th inning, they get a man on to lead things off, and they look to try and take advantage, see if they can extend their lead back out after giving up 1 in the top of the 4th. Cole Collins will bat. He hits a line drive to center field. That ball drops in. Base knock. Up to second base goes Knox Hubbard. 2 for 2 in the game for Cole Collins as he gets the swing out there after laying down a bunt the first time up. Swings away to put runners at first and second.
Number 5, shortstop, Brooks Avery.
Doc Stewarts with 6 hits in the ball game now. 2 hits in the game for the Lobos. Didn't have a hit until the 4th. Top of the order, Brooks Avery bunted his last time up. Might be asked to do it again here with runners at first and second and nobody out. Third baseman plays in a step. Avery not showing anything. First baseman in. He will square now. Pulls it third base side. Picked up. The throw to first by Lopez. Not in time. And a second bunt single for Brooks Avery. And he'll load him up here in the 4th inning. Doc Stewarts, with nobody out, a chance to break this game open.
Center fielder Carson Dunn.
Brings up Carson Dunn, who had a sac fly in the second to drive in a run, had his RBI there. Carson Dunn had the other home run when the Docs were here against the Emerald Challengers. He swings through for strike 1. Game 1 of that doubleheader, Docs winning 2-1 behind a great performance by Evan Corbin. And Carson Dunn had one of the 2 home runs in that game for the Doc Stewarts that gave them the win. He gets behind one here, belts it out to left field, pretty well struck, going back to the warning track. The catch is made by Young. Tagging and scoring will be Hubbard. The throw comes in, everybody else moves up 90 feet. And Carson Dunn, for a second time, does the job he's asked to do as he sacrifice flies to left field. First out made, Doc Stewart's back in front by 2. Coming in to score, Knox Hubbard. Cole Collins tags and goes to third. Brooks Avery goes to second. That ball well struck, just not quite enough. Got it to the warning track. Up to bat, Cade Johnson fouls off the first pitch. Back on July 16th, Carson Dunn, a solo homer in the 6th inning against the Challengers, and it was Knox Hubbard with the go-ahead homer in the 3rd inning to put the Docs on top. Those 2 solo shots, enough for the Doc Stewarts to get that win. 0-1 pitch here to Cade, takes high and away. Doc Stewarts Baseball today brought to you by Colorcraft. They're a paint store, not a paint department. We're talking about Dr. Lanson Randall, one of our sponsors for Doc Stewarts Baseball here on the Score, but also a sponsor of the Dr. Randall's Crowns. It's a pitch high, 2-1. The Crowns, they're in a really good spot. They're in a battle of the unbeatens coming up tonight at 8 o'clock in the Single A State Tournament. They take on Redmond after a big 1-0 win yesterday against the Ole's Athletics out of Eugene. There's a pitch outside, 3-1 count for Cade Johnson. Dr. Randall's and Ole's, they split during the regular season. Dr. Randall's getting that win yesterday to move into the winner's unbeaten matchup. Swing and a miss on the 3-1 pitch to Johnson. Full count with runners at second and third. So congratulations to high for ball 4. Bases loaded. After Lopez, his 3rd walk in the matchup. He's also hit a batter. And the bases loaded with 1 out. It's going to prompt a visit out to the mound for the Lobos. So 1 on. Sorry, they make that 3 on, 1 out. Here in the 4th inning, Doc Stewart's in front 3-1, and they've got the cleanup hitter at the plate looking to try and take advantage of the situation. Best of luck to Dr. Randall's coming up tonight. That Redmond team is a bit of an older team playing at the Single A level with guys that are kind of at the age group you normally find at the Triple A level. So Big test coming up tonight, but we'll see who they've got on the mound. I don't believe they've thrown Ty Hellenthal yet. He could be a guy you see pitching for Dr. Randall's tonight. I know they've got some other arms that they probably like, but we shall see. Should be a fun matchup. Looking forward to listening to that one from Kenny. First pitch swinging for Withers. Foul ball, third base side for strike one. That ball just goes foul ahead of third base. Daniel Withers 0 for 1 in the game, grounded out to short to lead off things in the third. He was also hit by a pitch back in the first. The 0-1 pitch to him, breaking ball for strike two. Big moment here for the Doc Stewarts to hopefully try and break this game open. They've scored 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 here in the fourth. They're trying to stretch it out as the defense plays in with 1 out and the bases loaded. Withers takes low and inside behind the plate. Liam Cleaver working to keep that ball in front of him. It is a deep backstop here at Sweet Johnson Stadium, so if the ball gets by and really gets away, there's a lot of room for it to roll and a lot of time for a runner to advance from third. The 1-2 pitch, Withers, ground ball, third base, snagged by Perry. He'll throw to the plate, throws wide, and a runner's safe. A second runner coming home. Avery in safe, everybody else safe behind him. Connor Perry, the third baseman, tried to get the force out at home, and he throws wide, pulling Liam Cleaver off the home plate. He dove to try and get to that ball, but could not glove it. It went all the way to the backstop, and Brooks Avery comes in to score as well. So an error, first of the game for either side, brings in 2 runs for the Doc Stewarts. Out to second base, Daniel Withers ends up on base with the fielder's choice. Cade Johnson goes first to third. Cole Collins scored from third base, and Brooks Avery comes around to score on the error, coming all the way in from second. So it's now 5-1. Doc Stewarts stretch out the lead with their first multiple run inning in this ball game. Still just 1 out, and Evan Martin will bat. Already has an RBI back in the first inning. They play with the infield in with runners at second and third, and still just 1 out. First pitch is called for strike one. The 0-1 outside for Martin. 1-1 count. Evans been on base twice, a single and a walk. Third time through the lineup here for the Doc Stewarts, and they're starting to get to Alex Lopez, the youngster out of Sherwood. Ball hit left side, line drive for Martin's going to bring home at least 1 more. They're going to hold Withers at third as the Doc Stewarts take a 6-1 advantage. Evan Martin will pick up his second RBI of the game. A line drive to left field. He's 2 for 2. Been on base all 3 times and has 2 RBI. Doc Stewart's on top. 6-1 here in the fourth. Up to bat, Logan Anderson trying to get his bat going here in the postseason after his great regular season. He gets around on one, line drive left side. That'll drop in fair territory. Long run for Young out there. Anderson heading into second, stopping at third. Back to the bag goes Martin, and the Doc Stewarts will get 1 more on the double by Logan Anderson. Only able to get 1 out of it with Martin at first, stopping short at third.
The Roseburg batter, number 2.
7-1. Doc Stewart's breaking things open here in the bottom of the fourth. Still just 1 out, and Sebastian Watson, the 9th hitter to the plate against Lopez. There is activity in the bullpen for the Lobos. First pitch swinging. A line drive gets past the pulled-in infield on the left side, trying to score from second. The throw to the dish, not in time. Anderson will score on the throw. Watson makes his way to second. So Sebastian Watson picks up 2 RBI on that one. A single through the left side.
Now batting number 4.
Martin scored from third. Anderson comes in from second. Didn't have Withers scoring in there, but he must have. As a visit out to the mound, we're going to get a pitching change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs. That sounds about right. 7 runs in, 9-1. Doc Stewart's in front after the 2-run single by Sebastian Watson. He's the lone man on base as we get a new man on the mound for the Sherwood Lobos. Doc Stewart's in control, looking to clinch their spot in the first round of the state playoffs coming up tomorrow. We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break. When we come back, we'll get you the details on the change. It's a call to the pen brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. Back after this on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Call to the Pen brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. If you're considering a change when it comes to your coverage, get in touch with Chris. He can help you deal with all of life's curveballs with life insurance coverage to fit your budget, plus coverage for your home and auto. Contact Chris Hubbard at 541-672-3301 or visit chrisinsurers.com for a quote today. Taking over on the mound is going to be Josiah Busby out of Sherwood, class of 2024, right-handed pitcher. We'll get the baseball from Alexander Lopez. The lefty goes 3 1/3 innings. He gave up 10 hits over that time. Right now credited with 9 runs, but 1 runner left on base would go to his total if Sebastian Watson's able to come around and score. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter for Lopez in the start for the Lobos. Sebastian Watson out at second after his bases clearing double, driving in 2. Put the Doc Stewarts on top, 9-1. And that sends the Docs through the lineup here in the 4th inning. The 10th hitter to the plate will be Knox Hubbard. He'll face the new man on the mound. Knox led off the inning with a walk and came around to score. First pitch from the righty misses a bit high for ball 1. Sherwood, last time I had, as far as I could tell, their last game was back on July 11th, a 2-0 loss against the Barbers. They had a couple, they had 2 wins in league play this year. One of them was a forfeit win. 1-0 pitch in the air, shallow left field, coming in. Catch made by Elm Young for the second out. Watson will hold at second base.
Now batting number 9,
2 down.
right fielder Cole Collins.
Collins will bat, the 9-man in the lineup card. He's the 11th hitter to the plate here in the 5th inning for the Doc Stewarts, as they've put up 7 runs total in the frame. First pitch for Collins from the new man Busby. Takes strike 1. If the Doc Stewarts hang on here, they will be playing the Mid-Valley Southpaws coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Second game of the day in the first round of the tournament. Strike 2 taken by Collins at the top of the zone on a breaking ball. Still to go today, Corvallis and the Hillsboro Baseballism Wet Sox coming up at 4. Then the Hillsdale Merchants and the Canyon Crushers wrap up the day at 7. As a swing and a miss. Strike 3, down on strikes goes Cole Collins. And that'll finish things off here in the 5th inning. But the Doc Stewarts will get 7 runs in on 5 hits. There was 1 error for the Lobos, and the Doc Stewarts leave 1 man on base. So we will head to the top of the 5th inning. Doc Stewarts leading 9-1 on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
A good contingency of Doc Stewart's fans in the building here at Sweet Johnson Stadium for today's ball game. Great to see the fans showing up. A lot of blue and orange, and got the blue caps with the R on the front out there. As Evan Corbin will continue to work, he gets another infield pop-up. It's going to go out to the mound. Corbin just trying to stay out of the way of Cade Johnson, who will take the pop fly on the mound. And that'll retire Carson Miller to start things here in the 5th inning. Miller was at the plate when the final out was made at the top of the 4th when Wyatt Buer was thrown out trying to steal 3rd. And he leads things off swinging at the first pitch. Elm Young to bat. He'll take in the dirt for ball 1. So Corbin now with a wide lead to work with. On top 9-1 are the Doc Stewarts. Corbin just trying to close it out here. Strike in, a 1-1 count. Corbin at 56 pitches in this one. I'm sure the Docs coaches down there are thinking about, let's get a quick inning here as a pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike for Young. Get a quick inning here, get out there and score twice in the bottom of the 5th and try and end this one early. Try and save as many pitches in the arm of Evan Corbin as possible to get him back out on the mound as soon as possible. As a strike taken, 2-2 count for Young. 2-2 delivery. Corbin out of his windup. The right-hander with the glove in front of his face, towing the first base side of the rubber. Drops the hands and winds and fires. A pop fly foul out of play. Actually, sorry, that ball is out to left field. A long run for Sebastian Watson for the out. Boy, I thought I saw that off the bat go out of play. Afternoon sun messing with me here. Watson with a great play out in left field. Racing back to get underneath that one, lost his ball cap. There's 2 down. My apologies on that. I thought I saw that going up over the netting and heading to the parking lot for some reason. 1 out, a ground ball to second base. Logan Anderson over to first, and there is a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Doc Stewarts. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Lobos. 9-1. Doc Stewarts need 2 to try and end this one early. So we go to the bottom of the 5th on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Going to the bottom of the 5th inning, Doc Stewarts can make this a quick one here in Game 2 of the day. Leading 9-1, they need 2 runs against Josiah Busby to try and end it in 5. And that could benefit the Doc Stewarts going forward, as pitching is always a premium. And with pitch count limits, things can get a little bit dicey for a team as they make a deep run. Matthew Burlingame in the contest for Sherwood. He takes over in the outfield for Elm Young. Up to bat for the Doc Stewarts, top of their order. Brooks Avery is 2 for 3 in the contest. He has got 2 bunt singles in this one. He'll ground one towards short. And it's booted by Fabrisky at short. And on safely will be Avery. So that brings Carson Dunn to the plate. He would represent the game-ending run. The Doc Stewarts need 2 to finish things off early. Carson Dunn is 0 for 1 in the game with 2 sac flies to drive in runs. Looking to steal second base. The throw not going to get there in time. Avery in scoring position. Talked with Carson Dunn prior to the postseason, and I asked him what leads to being successful in the postseason. He said being aggressive at the plate and on the bases and being aggressive defensively. Both Avery and Dunn love to be aggressive on the bases, and a stolen base there for Brooks Avery. The 0-1 pitch, Dunn. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Coming into today, Avery and Dunn were the top 2 guys stealing bases. That's 23 on the season now for Brooks Avery. Carson Dunn has 28. He's at the plate with an 0-2 count and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Busby takes his time on the mound, and time called before Busby gets into his windup. He stayed set and ready to go on the mound, didn't even step off as time is called. The umpire had not given him the all clear on the pitch. So now we'll reset. Busby, time was called by Dunn. Dunn stepped out, stepped back in, dug into the box, and Busby on the mound didn't move at all. He was a statue out there. He'll get the 0-2 pitch fouled away. And the young Cal Ripken ball players here in attendance chase after those foul balls. 0-2 count with nobody out, and Brooks Avery at second base. He's going for third. The swing and a miss, throw to third, gets by, but Avery will stay at third as Fabrisky will back up the throw. So he gets to third base on another stolen base. Carson Dunn, though, strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the game for Busby. There's 1 away. Doc Stewarts have a man at third base. Cade Johnson, 1 for 2 in this game. Had the first hit of the ball game for the Docs back in the first inning and would score the first run. Every first hit of the game for the Doc Stewarts is brought to you by MSK True Value and Building Supply. Starts off with a foul ball, strike 1. Today's contest brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. 0-1 from Busby. Strike with the breaking ball on the outside corner. 1 out. Brooks Avery, after reaching on an error to start off the inning at third base after back-to-back steals. 0-2 pitch for Johnson. Takes outside. At third base, Avery staring at that one intently as the catcher, Liam Cleaver, couldn't locate the baseball. And Brooks Avery waiting for an opportunity. He was watching there. The window creaked open, but he decides not to take the opportunity. Probably smart. Docs want to try and end it here, and you don't want to give away outs. Cade Johnson, give him the opportunity to drive in the run. 1-2 pitch for Busby. High. Cade Johnson has been on base twice and scored twice. Doc Stewart scoring 7 in the 4th inning as they sent 11 hitters to the plate. Here in the 5th, there's one out with a man at third. The 2-2 from Busby. Defense pulled in. That ball low and inside. 3-2 count. Doc Stewart's the number 2 seed out of Area 4 after finishing 3rd in the Area 4 standings. 3-2 pitch, grounder, foul, third base side. Stays a full count. Challengers won the league at 13-3, but they're the host team, so they didn't factor into the seeding for the conference. Medford finished second at 11-5. They got the 1 seed and the automatic berth in the playoffs. They'll be playing tomorrow. Swing and a miss on the 3-2 pitch, and down goes Johnson. Back-to-back strikeouts for Josiah Busby as he tries to keep this game going for Sherwood. Daniel Withers will bat with 2 outs. Brooks Avery on at third. Off the end of his bat, fouled back to the netting. Busby's come in. He's done a nice job out of the bullpen of filling up the strike zone. He's got 3 strikeouts. He's faced 5 batters. His 0-1 pitch here to Withers. Breaking ball stays high and inside. Medford will be playing tomorrow. They'll be taking on either Corvallis or Hillsboro. Challengers also out of Area 4 playing tomorrow. They'll take on either Hillsdale or Staten. There's a pitch low, 2-1 count. Doc Stewarts are trying to make it 3 of the 4 postseason eligible teams in the first round of the playoffs for Area 4. Strike taken. 2-2 count. Daniel Withers at the dish. Brooks Avery at third. Doc's trying to get something going here against Busby in the 5th inning. Ground ball goes off the foot of the pitcher. Ricochets towards short. A throw across the diamond will not be there in time. Base hit for Daniel Withers to drive in a run. Out on the mound, Busby with the kick save. Sent it right out to Fabrisky at short, but that ball kicked off the heel of his foot, high into the air towards shortstop. Fabrisky making a desperate move to first to try and get that ball across, but would have been rather shocking if he had been able to pull that off. First pitch misses, ball 1 to Evan Martin. Martin bats with Daniel Withers at first. Brooks Avery scored on that last play to make it 10-1. Doc Stewart's in front. One more run and this ball game will come to an end. Pitch low, 2-0 count for Martin. If the Doc Stewarts can't get it to a 10-run advantage here in the bottom of the 5th, we'd go to the top of the 6th, and Docs would have to get 3 more outs against the Lobos and then try to finish it early in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 pitch. This is low and outside, and Martin, who's had a great day at the plate, he's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, a walk, 2 RBI, and a run score. It's got a 3-0 pitch coming up here from Busby. He does take the strike on the 3-0 pitch. That ball just catching the top of the zone. Batting cage is going as Corvallis and Hillsboro get ready for the next game as Busby steps off. Docs do have an arm warming up in the bullpen. They may make a move with the big lead. They may bring out Corbin to try and keep his pitch count low and bring in somebody else to try and finish this one off. A strike taken on the 3-1 pitch, high and inside to Evan Martin. Martin will step back in. Full count pitch. Withers will be running at first. There's ball 4, and the bottom of the 5th will continue for the Doc Stewarts. Withers to second. Martin on at first. First walk issued by Josiah Busby out of the bullpen. And Logan Anderson had a run-scoring double in the 4th inning. He will step in with 2 outs here. Looks like Colton Sywell out there in the bullpen throwing for the Doc Stewarts. They throw down to second base, won't be in time to try and get Withers as the first pitch comes in high and away to Logan Anderson. Here at Sweet Johnson Stadium at North Eugene High School, Doc Stewart's in the play-in round, got a win to advance, and right now leading big as a ball hit out right side. It's going to carry out to Carson Miller, and the game will continue on. Logan Anderson flies out for the final out of the 5th, and the Doc Stewarts get 1, but can't get the 2 they needed to end this one early. So we'll go to the top of the 6th. Doc Stewarts get 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error for the Lobos and 2 men left on. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Doc Stewarts leading this one 10-1 on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for the Sherwood Lobos, number 29, shortstop Parker Fabrisky.
Cade Johnson will take over on the mound for the Doc Stewarts. He'll miss low for the first pitch at the top of the order for the Sherwood Lobos here. It is Parker Fabrisky that'll lead things off. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in the game. Those 2 strikeouts against Evan Corbin. Gets a big cut on the 1-0 pitch from Johnson. So Evan Corbin goes 5 innings, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He's in line to get the win here today. The pitch from Johnson's low, 2 balls and a strike. Call to the pen for the Doc Stewarts here, brought to you by Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance. Give him a call at 541-672-3301 or visit chrisinsurers.com for a quote today. 2-1 delivery. Breaking ball. Fabrisky thought about it, but he holds off, and it's called a ball low and outside. 3-1 count. Doc's trying to conserve the pitch count limits. There's a big swing and a miss out of Fabrisky. Full count pitch coming up. I believe that Evan Corbin finished the day at 60 pitches. 3-2 out of Johnson. Just got a piece of it. Fabrisky stays alive. Cade Johnson making his 9th appearance for the Doc Stewarts. 36 1/3 innings. He's got a 4-0 win-loss record and 1 save on the season. This is a non-save opportunity for him. He's got a .99 ERA. 3-2 for Johnson. And he'll miss low for ball 4. So man gets on to lead things off here in the 6th inning for the Lobos. Just the second walk of the outing for the Doc Stewarts pitching staff. Evan Corbin, if the lead holds, will pick up his 6th win of the season. Strike called on the first pitch to Liam Cleaver, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Had the first hit of the ball game against Evan Corbin back in the 4th inning for the Lobos. 1 on, nobody out. 0-1 pitch from Johnson. Misses low, bounces off the gear for Knox Hubbard. Up to second base will go Fabrisky. One count for Cleaver. Inside corner, breaking ball called for a strike as Cleaver pulled the arms up, scooted the legs back, tried to stay out of the way of the inside pitch, and takes it for the strike. 1-2 delivery here by Johnson. Out of the stretch, he offers. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Caught behind home by Knox Hubbard, and Cleaver, surprised he gets the ring there. Goes down looking for a second time. And Cade Johnson will pick up his first strikeout in relief of Evan Corbett. 1 away. That strikeout brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. They'll throw to second base. That ball ricochets into the outfield as Logan Anderson had to reach across the runner to try and get to that baseball. But out at second base, Parker Fabrisky stays on there. He reached on a walk, moved to second on a wild pitch. 1 out, a man at second base for the Lobos in the top of the 6th. Tonight's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces. They'll appeal on the check swing. He did not go around. A 1-0 count to start things off for Connor Perry, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game. .1-0 delivery, popped up right side. Playable for Collins out there, racing in. He won't get there in time. That ball drops in right field at the line. Cole Collins will send it back in, and Connor Perry will have his first hit of the afternoon. Runners at first and third for the Lobos. Still just 1 out, and Wyatt Buer, the first baseman, trying to bring in a run. Doc Stewart's looking for something to turn 2 with here. Cole Collins out in right field. I have remarked quite often, especially when he's been on the mound, that Cole Collins always seems to be losing his hat. I got some information on that as a ball fouled back. According to his high school baseball coach as well as high school football coach, it's a battle for the foul ball back behind home. Colton Sywell racing to try and get that. Kyle Scheller as well, and they collide behind home. They seem to be all right, all smiles. 0-1 pitch. Low and inside from Johnson. Coach Ben Lane at Oakland High School, head coach for the football team as well as the baseball team out there. Coached Collins in both sports. Tells me that there is not a hat in the world big enough to stay on Cole Collins' head. And I guess that's proven correct there as he came charging in to make that defensive play. Lost his hat once again. Wyatt Buer watches a strike go by on a breaking ball. He's got a 1-2 count with 1 out and runners at first and third. Cade Johnson trying to get the Docs through the 6th here. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Another strikeout for Johnson. A breaking ball, swing and a miss by Buer. 2 away, and Kyle Scheller will bat. Scheller is 1 for 2 in the game with an RBI single in the 4th. Drove in the only run of the game for the Lobos so far. He's got an opportunity to do it again with a man at third. Scheller takes the first pitch for strike 1. Mentioned that Kyle Scheller, one of the 3 names in the lineup today for the Lobos that was in the state playoff game last year when the Doc Stewarts took on the Lobos and beat them 4-2. Scheller last year went 1 for 3 with an RBI. He could quite possibly finish with the same stat line here in today's game, depending the outcome of this at-bat. 1-1 count as Scheller takes the ball in the dirt from Cade Johnson on the mound for the Doc Stewarts. Top of the 6th inning here. 1-1 pitch, chopped that one left side. Jalen Riddle won't be able to make the play. And a run will come in for the Lobos. It is back to an 8-run ball game. Runners at first and second with 2 away. Riddle charging in, trying to make that play just off the end of his glove. It was going to be a tough play to first. Base hit for Kyle Scheller. And so his stat line will be slightly better than it was a year ago when the Docs beat the Lobos 4-2. Pitch in the dirt, ball 1. For Logan Bambush, who is 0 for 2, flown out twice to the third baseman. Fabrisky scored on that ground ball. Connor Perry to second. 1-0 pitch, high and away, 2-0 count. Cade Johnson getting extended a little bit here in the 6th inning. He struck out 2, but he's given up 2 hits and a walk. His 2-0 pitch to Bambush cuts into the left-handed hitter for strike 1. So the Docs will go to the bottom of the 6th inning, leading by 8. Hoping to try and probably get this one done early to save pitches. Another breaking ball. Ooh, that pitch looked pretty good from up here. Called for ball 3. Today's contest brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? 3-1 pitch from Johnson. Issues ball 4. Now the bases are suddenly loaded for the Lobos. And out to the mound will go Knox Hubbard for a quick visit with Cade Johnson. Docs need one more out here, leading big. Trying to get through the top of the 6th. Trying not to let the Lobos hang around here. Coming up tomorrow, first game of the day will be at 10 o'clock. You can check out the bracket for the tournament. We've got it at 541radio.com, and we'll keep you updated with results and the schedule going forward. Tomorrow it starts at 10 a.m. with the Salem Whitnell Dodgers and the Portland Barbers in the first game of the day. Docs are hoping to be in the second game, and they look to be on target to do so, but got to finish out this ball game. 0-1 count on a foul ball by Carson Miller. Miller 0 for 1 in the game with a walk. Oh-1 count. Bases are loaded with 2 down, top of the 6th. Ground ball towards Logan Anderson. He will get it over to first base to Withers for the final out here in the 6th. 7 hitters to the plate for the Lobos in the 6th inning. They get 1 run to come in on 2 hits. There were no Doc Stewart errors and 3 men left on base. So we will go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Doc Stewart's leading this one 10-2. Once again, looking to try and end it early on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Coming up later on today in our
Going to the bottom of the 6th inning, Doc Stewart's leading 10-2 on top of the Sherwood Lobos. On the mound, Josiah Busby will face Watson, Hubbard, and Collins due up. Time called before we get things started. Lets us tell you about Evergreen Family. Pitch high and inside to Sebastian Watson. Evergreen Family Medicine in Sutherland, they're now open for business, so check out their new facility below the golf course with state-of-the-art family medicine, urgent care, and lab services. Busby falls behind, 2-0 count. Watson is 1 for 3 in the game. He's driven in 2. Low and outside, 3-0 count. Doc Stewarts could end it early with 2 runs here in the 6th inning. And a leadoff walk to Sebastian Watson will get a man on. Second walk issued by Busby.
Now batting number 4, the catcher, Knox Hubbard.
1 on. Knox Hubbard will bat. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Infield single and a walk. It has been a breezy day here in Eugene. Hubbard will take a pitch for ball 1. Again, not a bad looking pitch. Busby, though, does not get the call. A 1-0 count to start. Hubbard will take low and inside for a 2-0 count. American flags around the stadium here at home. They tend to be blowing out towards center field some. Right now, the American flag in center field is blowing straight out. Wind does tend to aid fly balls to the outfield a little bit as they pitch high and away. 3-0 count. When it's going, it tends to blow out here in Eugene. Unlike back at home at Champion Car Wash Field, where it blows in from left field and kind of pushes everything towards right field. 3-0 pitch in for a strike for Hubbard. A 3-1 count after a leadoff walk to Watson. Docs have activity in the bullpen again. Logan Anderson out there throwing now. Strike 2 taken on the outside corner, and Hubbard back at the plate. He thought he had gotten ball 4. So Hubbard will stand in. 3-2 pitch coming up with a man at first base. Nobody out, starting off the bottom of the 6th. Check swing, and no, the call is that Hubbard did not go around. And the Sherwood coach, trying to argue otherwise, gets shut down quickly by the home plate umpire. Gets a warning there, and the bases have runners at first and second. Back-to-back walks. Hubbard did. I will at least say this in defense of the Sherwood coach. Hubbard got that bat out there quite a bit. I don't think he could have gone any further. But he gets the beneficial call of not going around. And there's runners at first and second. And that pitch inside gets Cole Collins on the ribs. And he's going to sprint down to first. Got to show you're tough. Can't rub it. Can't show any signs of weakness. You got to just sprint to first. Cole Collins, he's a tough kid. Watched him play in football. Definitely did a lot of damage out there for the Oakland Oakers. At least his helmet can stay on. He heads to first. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Doc Stewarts need 2 to end it early, and they'll ask Brooks Avery to try and get them at least a part of the way there. Avery's first pitch off the hands, dribbled towards short. They throw to home for 1, and so they'll get the out at home. Sebastian Watson forced out. 6-2 the put out, 1 away. Bases still loaded.
Now batting center fielder.
Brings up
3,
Carson Dunn as Avery reaches on a fielder's choice. Runners on every base. Knox Hubbard moves to third. Cole Collins at second. First pitch goes behind the head for Carson Dunn. And Knox Hubbard sprints home and just keeps on trucking to the dugout. The catcher makes it a 9-run ball game, 11-2. 1-0 count for Carson Dunn. Cole Collins to third, Brooks Avery to second, all on that wild pitch. And another one coming in to score will be Collins, and that'll finish this ball game off. Back-to-back wild pitches, and the Doc Stewarts will get the 2 runs they needed here in the 6th inning to finish this game early. Final score is going to be 12-2. Doc Stewarts with the win will play tomorrow. And with 7 runs in the 4th inning, they were able to make this game somewhat uncompetitive late. After a tight ball game early, Doc Stewarts pull away. Evan Corbin will get the win. Doc Stewarts go to 19-15-1 on the season, and will play tomorrow in the first round of the of the Oregon AAA State Tournament. We'll tell you more about it as we head to the Neal Company Real Estate Postgame Show. Don't go anywhere, folks. Plenty more to talk about as we bring you Doc Stewart's baseball in the postseason on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Doc Stewart's team.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller. When businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Welcome into the Neal Company Real Estate Postgame Show. Neal Company Real Estate. They've been working since 1977 to provide you great resources when it comes to the real estate market. You can view available properties and rentals by going to nealco.com. Doc Stewarts get a 12-2 victory on top of the Sherwood Lobos here in today's playing round game, and the Doc Stewarts will keep their season alive. They'll get at least 2 more on the schedule after today. So with the win, they stretch things out a little bit, and the Doc Stewarts will now be on playing through the weekend. So we'll see where that goes for us here coming up as the Doc Stewarts victorious against the Sherwood Lobos. Joey Kieran here with you. We'll take a look at all of the recap for you here in this ball game. Doc Stewart's 12-2. Looking at the numbers for Sherwood, 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and 5 men left on base for the Doc Stewarts. 12 runs on 11 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on. Evan Corbin will get the win, improving to 6-0 on the year. Alexander Lopez takes the loss for the Lobos. Doc Stewart's now 19-15-1 on the season, and as far as I understand it, Sherwood drops to 2-9. Doc Stewart's will be playing again tomorrow, same time, 1 o'clock start time. And that means we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 12:45 for Game 1 of the state tournament. We'll talk more about that as we continue on with the Neal Company Real Estate Postgame Show. Doc Stewart's Baseball today been brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Doc Stewart's get the win. They scored first in the first inning on an RBI single by Evan Martin. Then they led the entire way. They added a run in the second inning off of a sac fly by Carson Dunn. The Lobos got one back in the top of the fourth, made it 2-1 at that point in time, but the Doc Stewarts would get 7 runs across in the fourth inning against Lopez, as they would send 11 hitters to the plate in that fourth inning. Doc Stewarts had RBI single by Evan Martin, RBI double by Logan Anderson, 2-run single by Sebastian Watson, and the Doc Stewarts able to pull away. And then at the tail end of that one, it was just kind of a question of when the Doc Stewarts would finish that one off. Obviously, nothing is for sure, but the Docs were trying to get that one done early and see if they can preserve their pitching staff for later on in the tournament. Cade Johnson came in and closed it out. He pitched a little bit more than I think they would have liked to have seen him throw, but the Doc Stewarts were able to get the win and save a little bit of pitches for Evan Corbin and hopefully save enough for Cade Johnson. Doc Stewart's victorious, 12-2. They finish it off in 6 innings and secure their spot in the AAA state tournament. It's the 3rd year in a row the Docs have been in the AAA state tournament. This will be the first time they have won their way into the state tournament since quite some time. In fact, I'm trying to remember when the last time might have been. I'm going to have to pull out some record books here tonight and find that out. I know the last 2 years the Docs were in as the host team. 2019, they lost in the Super Regionals to play their way in. They hosted in 2018. So it's been a little while since the Doc Stewarts have won and played their way in to the state tournament. But we'll find out how it works out for them tomorrow. They'll take on the Mid-Valley Southpaws at 1 o'clock, and we'll have the game for you. We're going to go ahead and take another time out here during the Neal Company Real Estate Postgame Show. When we come back, we will take a look at more of the individual numbers for you here in this one and wrap it up for you here from Eugene this afternoon. And don't forget, everybody, stick around here on The Score if you're listening on the radio. If you're a college football fan, this is the place you want to be. John Canzano and the Bald-Faced Truth going to be coming up once we get off the airwaves here, and we'll have coverage of that for you. John Canzano is in Las Vegas for Pac-12 Football Media Day, and he's going to have interviews with all sorts of players and coaches leading into the football season. So you're going to want to catch the Bald-Faced Truth this afternoon here on The Score. We'll take another time out. We'll come back, wrap up the Neal Company Real Estate Postgame Show on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller? when businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Next game coming up here in Eugene, the Corvallis Skirting Builders Market Men taking on the Hillsboro Baseballism Wet Sox. The winner of that one moving on and will face the Medford Mustangs coming up tomorrow and the 4 o'clock game in the first day of the state tournament. Doc Stewarts will be moving on. They'll be playing tomorrow. 1 o'clock start time as they'll take on the Mid-Valley Southpaws. We haven't seen them the first year back in action for the Southpaws, so we'll get our first chance to see them coming up tomorrow after they won Area 2 this year. So we'll look forward to that matchup coming up here at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Taking a look at how this one played out, of course, Docs took the early lead with a pair of runs, or with a run in each of the first 2 innings, then 7 runs in the 4th. They really broke this one open. Looking at the offensive numbers for the Doc Stewarts, 2 for 5 on the day with 2 runs scored for Brooks Avery. Carson Dunn was 0 for 2 in the game, but had 2 sac flies to drive in a couple of runs. Cade Johnson goes 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored, had a walk and a single. Daniel Withers 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Evan Martin goes 2 for 2 in the game with a run scored and 2 RBI. Logan Anderson was 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Sebastian Watson 1 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. Knox Hubbard goes 1 for 2 with 3 runs scored, and Cole Collins was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored in this one. Every player in the lineup for the Doc Stewarts finishes with a hit except for Carson Dunn, although Dunn did have the 2 sac flies to drive in a couple of runs, so still very productive at the plate. As for the Lobos today, no run, or an 0 for 2 day for Fabrisky. He scored a run, 1 for 3 for Liam Cleaver with a run scored. Connor Perry goes 1 for 3. Wyatt Buer 0 for 2. Kyle Scheller was 2 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. Logan Bambush was 0 for 2. Carson Miller goes 0 for 2. Elm Young 0 for 2, and Jordan Buck 0 for 2 in this one. Evan Corbin gets the win. He goes 5 innings, gives up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Cade Johnson, non-save situation, pitches 1 inning, gives up 1 run on 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Alex Lopez takes the loss. He goes 3 1/3 innings, gives up 9 runs on 10 hits. I don't believe they were all earned. In fact, I probably counted about 7 earned runs is what I was thinking, but don't call that official. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. Josiah Busby pitched the final 2 2/3, gives up 3 runs on 1 hit, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. So the Doc Stewarts moving on to face the Mid-Valley Southpaws coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Looking forward to that one here on The Score. That means we'll have Doc Stewarts baseball for you throughout the weekend as well. So the Docs will be playing tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then depending on whether or not if they win tomorrow against the Southpaws, the Doc Stewarts would play at 7 o'clock on Sunday. If the Docs were to lose tomorrow against the Southpaws, they'd play in a loser-out game at 1 o'clock on Sunday. But the Doc Stewarts are guaranteed to play at least through Sunday now that they've made it into the double elimination portion of the tournament after making their way through the play-in round here today. For Sherwood, they finish out the season with the loss, and they are done for the year in Legion Baseball. So that is it. We will have updates on the final results from the tournament or from this first round, the play-in round. We'll have those posted at 541radio.com because I know plenty of Legion baseball fans in the area down there in Douglas County. So we will have those posted at 541radio.com for you so you guys can keep up to date with what's going on in the state tournament here in the play-in round today. And, of course, throughout the tournament, we will update the bracket as well so everybody can stay up to date with what's going on in the state tournament here in Eugene. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here as we will conclude the Neal Company Real Estate Postgame Show. Again, check them out at nealco.com. Coming up here at the top of the hour, it's going to be the Bald-Faced Truth with John Canzano. He is in Las Vegas to bring you coverage of the Pac-12 Media Day, so make sure you tune in for that here coming up at 3 o'clock. John is going to be down there doing a bunch of work and have a ton of coverage, so this is definitely a show not to miss. I'm happy that we got done in time to bring you the entirety of the Bald-Faced Truth. This is the reason we bring in that show on a daily basis, because John's going to have connections and interviews to give you a ton of insight into what's going on in Pac-12 football as they get ready to kick off the season coming up at the end of August. So stay tuned for that here coming up. Let's go ahead real quick. Let's pause for a station identification before we wrap this one up. This is Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score. Doc Stewarts get the win 12-2 to keep their season going. They will play at least 2 more as they begin the state tournament coming up tomorrow here in Eugene. Don't forget, coming up tonight at 8 o'clock, Dr. Randall's take on Redmond in the Unbeatens, the Battle of the Unbeatens, Day 3 of the Single-A state tournament happening in Redmond. Dr. Randall's and the host team Redmond squaring off in that one. If Dr. Randall's can get a win, they'd be 2 wins away from claiming the state championship. They're in a real good spot right now, hoping to try and pull one off against the host team here tonight. That one starts at 8 o'clock. Kenny Sherman's going to have coverage of that one for you. You can find him on DouglasCountySportsOnline.com. We want to make sure all of our Legion baseball fans know where to catch those games going on. So check out Kenny with that one coming up tonight, 8 o'clock. Dr. Randall's in action there. And we'll be back to action coming up tomorrow, 12:45 pregame as the Doc Stewarts take on the Mid-Valley Southpaws. Want to say thanks to the Emerald Challengers here in Eugene for hosting us and the state tournament here from Swede Johnson Stadium. Appreciate them welcoming us in, making us feel at home. First time we've been on the road for the state tournament in quite some time, so definitely got to get used to that. Big thanks to the Challengers for hosting the tournament and hosting us here for the broadcast this afternoon. Want to say thanks to head coach Eric Savage and the entire Roseburg American Legion baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score. Thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here this afternoon. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for today's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:45, the pregame show. as the Dock Stewarts play their first game from the AAA American Legion Baseball State Tournament. They take on the Mid-Valley Southpaws. You can tune in and find the action streaming live with video online at 541radio.com, presented by the Cow Creek Tribe, or catch it right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. All right, copy that.